My name's Ollie France. I'm an expedition leader and adventurer. I've dedicated my life to adventure and have spent the last 15 years travelling to some of the most remote, hostile and wild places on Earth. But the challenge that I'm about to face is unlike anything I've done before. The Ultimate 7 project is my world-first aim to journey from the lowest point in each continent to the highest entirely by human power. It's a dream I've had for 10 years, and now it's time to make it a reality. The Ultimate 7 project will begin in the continent I love the most, Africa. My journey will begin at the lowest point in the continent, Lac Assal in Djibouti, and finish on the roof of Africa, Kilimanjaro, Tanzania. It's going to be a 1,600-mile journey through 4 countries, which is going to challenge me in ways it's hard to even imagine. I've spent months planning, training, getting ready for this expedition, and now it's time to get started.
10 years of dreaming about this project, 5 years of planning. Tomorrow, it begins. I'm at home and just about to do the final kit prep for Expedition Africa. The plan, travel by human power from the lowest point in Africa to the highest. It's a 1,600-mile journey through 4 countries, through all kinds of terrains, temperatures, and uncertainties. As with any expedition, there's so much of this that I planned, but there's so many elements here that remain truly in the unknown. So now I'm about to do my final kit check, and then first thing in the morning, it's time to head for the airport to begin this immense journey across Africa.
Saying goodbye to my wife and 2 children never gets any easier. But when I look at the bigger picture, it's experiences like this that make me the man, the husband, the father who I aim to be. Time to go. After a long day's travel, I arrived in the airport at Djibouti City, here in East Africa.
Okay, I have just arrived in Djibouti and made it from the airport, kindly being hosted by a contact out here who has got an absolutely beautiful and rather large house. Just past midnight, so that's why I'm keeping my voice down. The bike's arrived, the bags have arrived. It's damn hot, it's close to midnight, but it's still around 35, 36 degrees. So we wake up tomorrow morning, sort out the bike, and then start making the final prep to get to Lac Assal.
Alright, so my bike is here. As you can see, they had to open it up at the airport. They wanted to, they wouldn't take my word for it that it was just a bike in there. So now I need to take this thing out and start to reassemble it. So I just finished rebuilding the bike. It's taken about an hour, but I wanted to make sure everything was perfect. Everything seems to be running fine. Gears are all good, brakes are still good, tyres aren't buckled. Doesn't seem to be any damage whatsoever to the bike, so it's worth packing it properly. So yeah, everything's looking good. Maybe I'll just talk you through the bike that I've got. So it's a steel frame Genesis bike, built for long distance touring biking, and very robust, heavy, but I'm sure it'll do the job. First thing I noticed, it's only 10 AM, but it is stiflingly hot. It must be above 40 degrees already. The heat is intense, and already I'm starting to realise just how hard the start of this bike journey is going to be. So, plan is, leaving here, Djibouti City at 4 AM tomorrow. I will then be travelling around 2 hours to the shore of Lac Assal. And what I've decided to do to increase security and safety in this blistering heat is to get a support driver. He's going to be with me the whole way to the border.
Okay, it's 4 AM and we've just left Djibouti City on our way to Lac Assal, enjoying the aircon in the car for the last time. Everything is prepared as it can be. I've got about 10 litres of water, all the snacks and food I need. Time to go and do it. Approaching Lac Assal now, maybe 10-15 minutes out or so, and just thought I'd check in with how I'm feeling. You know, it's been months building up to this expedition. Yeah, it's a real mixed bag of emotions right now. I've spent the last 2 days in the company of two very well-connected, well-informed people telling me about the various perils I might face along the way, the hundreds of trucks, military checkpoints and bandits, all kinds of potential issues. So there's definitely a degree of tension as well. But you know what, I think at times like this, it's best to just get started. Okay, here we are on the shore of Lac Assal, the lowest point in Africa, about to begin an epic journey all the way to Kilimanjaro. There's been many, many months in the planning, many years of dreaming for this adventure. It's time to get started. Let's hit the road. Here we go, Lac Assal sign. Lac Assal in the background. And there is Lubak, my amazing support driver who's going to be helping me out. So it looks like the sun is just about to rise, just over my left shoulder there. So that means the temperature is about to rise. And it's going to rise fast and it's going to rise high. So I've been going for about an hour or so, straight out of the lake. There's a lot of climbing, of course. You're going from the lowest point, and as you can see, the sun has now risen, so the temperature is increasing. Yeah, I mean, every time you open your mouth just dries out. It's that hot, and so no amount of water can replenish it. So what I'm trying to do is just not overexert myself too much. Just steady, keep ticking over. Try not to bring up the heart rate too much. Hopefully that way I can mitigate the heat slightly. Got some camels here over to my left hand side. Amazing place, it's like being on the moon. About 2 hours in now, just having a quick pit stop, topping up on water, had some electrolytes, banana. So at last I'm on flatter section of road now with some nice downhill, so I'm able to get some easy miles in. And as I travel along, you're coming across a few more small villages. You have children shouting things. Not quite sure what they're saying, but generally seems to be friendly. And actually, you see a lot of refugees, Ethiopians, who are walking across here, some barefoot, just carrying water. No possessions. It kind of puts in context, you know, what I'm doing. Nothing compared to the suffering that those guys are going through. So very, very brutal out here. Yeah, so 45 miles now, all good. And this is Lubak. He's my support driver. He's helping me out a lot. So yeah, just having a few minutes to try and cool off a little bit. Like in these temperatures, heat exhaustion is a very real possibility. So drinking plenty of fluids, lots of salts. It's a long sloping uphill right now, and then we're about 20 miles from Ali Sabai, which is just near the border, and then we'll take it from there. All right, time to set off again. You'll notice I've got some fetching headwear on. Nice little neck protector, soaked in water. That feels good actually, just to keep this sun off me a little bit more. Lots of trucks on this road, but it is quite wide thankfully, and they're giving me plenty of space, so on we go, carry on now. It's now around 10 AM and temperature's about 40 degrees, super hot. Yeah, tough going. My main concern is just regulating my body temperature. Okay, just hit 56 miles. Pretty pooped, to be honest. That heat is just relentless. It is all-consuming and inescapable. So yeah, tough going. I always knew this first day was going to be very tough. Yeah, this heat, it's right on the limits of what's safe, I think, for cycling. So not too far from Ali Sabai,
make a judgment call from there whether to stop or whether to carry on across the border. Let's see. Not ideal. Stuck behind two big dusty lorries going uphill at 40 degrees. Absolutely brutal hill climb. Now up to about 62 miles. Just a dirt track. It's being redone. Yeah, feeling pretty spent right now. But we're almost at Alisabay. Almost there. Alisibé. You can see all of the salt that's just sweated out of me. That's why I need to keep topped up with these and salts and electrolytes. Okay, despite drinking about 5 litres of water, definitely pretty dehydrated. I've only had one pee all day and it was very dark colour and not so much of it, so yeah, and I'm covered in salt, so just got to be a bit careful. Don't want to push it too hard. Consequences of the heat can be very severe. But we're just outside Alisabay now, this is a small town, and gonna nip to the hotel there and at the very least have a siesta, possibly spend the night, we'll see. Yeah, 61 miles or about 100k, so let's go. Oh, it feels good to be going downhill. A lot of climbing over the last couple of hours. I'm now up about 750 meters above sea level in the town of Alisabay. There's Lubac. I'm going to follow him to the hotel. And so it's marginally cooler, but that means I've climbed about 1,000 meters, probably more because there's been ups and downs from Lac Assal. So now we have a short break at least and go from there. Okay, I've decided to stay here in Alisabay tonight. So stats from the day: 63 miles and around 1,400 meters climbing. Brutal heat, as hot as 45 degrees. Strong headwinds and a lot of long uphill drags. Yeah, it's just taken me an hour or two to feel kind of reset. So I do feel good now. But yeah, it's been tough. I knew it was going to be hard. And it was. And we carry on. It would have been another sort of 35-50 mile push to make it to Aisha today. So yeah, I decided to call it. It's very, very hot. You know, sure I could make it, but this is a marathon, not a sprint, and certainly don't want to kill myself on day one. And it's still 40 degrees up here. So I'm gonna rest up here tonight, and then I'll be in good shape for the morning, and then head off into Ethiopia for the next stage.
Next time, as I prepare to enter Ethiopia, the country enters a state of emergency amid an ongoing conflict. Make sure to subscribe to be the very first to see the next episode.